I guess this has something to do with the whole idea of being honest and pulling out weeds when you see them. You can't ignore the weeds. You got to admit that they're there. Pull them out. Do something with your life. Let your freaking garden grow. I see so many people working out. So many people working out or talking about working out because it's a new year. New year, new me. Gonna get ripped, toned, shredded, all the above. And it was funny. I was talking to a buddy of mine who happens to be a personal trainer. And I was like, I hear people that have the same goals, but they have completely different plans. Like a lot of people are going, I'm not going to eat any carbs, just lots of protein, and I'm going to lift lots of weights. Where I know some people that I'm like, I'm going to eat only fibrous carbs and do lots of high-impact cardio. I was like, it's interesting. Those two approaches are totally different. Like one's the opposite of the other. Which one works? He's like, they both work. And he's like, they're not the opposite of the other. One guy has a high-carb, high cardio plan. The other person has a low-carb, high-intensity weight training plan. The opposite of either one of those things is not having a plan. Not having an idea of what you're going to do. Knowing that you want to get somewhere, but not figuring out a way to get there. There's lots of ways to skin a cat. There's lots of ways to become a ripped-toned super athlete. There's lots of ways to recognize the problems in your life and in the world and do something about them. But you can't do something about them until you recognize them and make a plan. There are risks and costs to a program of action, but they are far less than the long-range risks and costs of comfortable inaction. John F. Kennedy.
How to walk on your 2 feet. You will lose it. It's just a fact.
Tommy, do you remember all that lying to your friends? Like when you stole my guitar and you sold it so you could eat that Vicodin. How does it feel to be knowing that you let everybody who cares about you let them down? Till he doesn't even know he's kidding himself about why no one takes his calls or ever wants him around. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. You just can't stop, you just can't quit, and all your friends are so sick of it. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. Tommy's going to jail after he got caught holding for somebody else. You know it's never his fault. And when Tommy gets out, nothing changes at all. And we wait for the call saying that Tommy is gone. Tommy quit for a week, but that just didn't take. And his biggest mistake was saying he wanted a taste. Somehow a little is a lie, and a lie he got his more. And we're all sick of him, so we're showing him the door. Showing him the door. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. You just can't stop, you just can't
You can be helped if you truly want it. You have
talking to people who say you got plenty to say about me. So how come you never ever seem to want to say it to my face? Well, I got a little theory, I think you'll agree that you're not enough of a man to step to me. So when you see me in the street, you got nothing to say. That's a bitch move, punk. Keep my name out of your mouth, or you're fixing to get knocked out. If you don't want none of this, back it up, back it up, back it up. Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah, yeah. It's not my fault that you're nothing but a failure. So take that mess and go back to your trailer and live on those food stamps like a whore till the day you die. Yeah, or say it to my face if you really want to. It'll give me a chance to ruin you. And if you think that I am joking, just give it a try, cause I love it. Keep my name out of your mouth, or you're fixing to get knocked out. If you don't want none of this, back it up, back it up, back it up. Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you.
iHeartRadio puts the spotlight on Tom Petty. Thomas Earl Petty was born October 20th, 1950 in Gainesville, Florida. When he was 10 years old, Petty met Elvis Presley on the set of the film Follow That Dream. That meeting, plus seeing the Beatles on The Ed Sullivan Show, stoked his interest in rock and roll. Petty formed his first band, Mudcrutch, in 1970, featuring guitarist Mike Campbell and Ben Mod Tench on keyboards. They moved to L.A. and signed a record deal in 1974, but only released one single, Depot Street, before breaking up the next year. In 1976, Petty, Campbell, and Tench joined with bassist Ron Blair and drummer Stan Lynch to form Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Their self-titled debut was a hit in Great Britain, and American Girl would later go on to become a radio hit. 1979's Damn the Torpedoes was their mainstream breakthrough, hitting number 2 on the Billboard chart for 7 weeks. Don't Do Me Like That was the band's first top 10 song. Following 1981's hit, Hard Promises, Blair wanted a break from touring and was replaced by Howie Epstein. Long After Dark in 1982 was the first release from the Heartbreakers' new lineup. All things Tom Petty, info, music, and more are on iHeartRadio. Keyword Tom Petty.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to discuss the art of songwriting.
I've learned one thing over the years is that actually you can't control it. You can't force it, you can't analyze it, you can't worry about it. You just go and have a good time and mess around, and then something comes along and you grab it. You know, it's something intangible, and if you try and make a program how to do it and do it better, you get lost. So it's like a free-form thing, which you can't control. You just let it ride or not ride. And if it's not working, then you just have a break. That's what I've learned.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford and all your favorite artists.
Hey, you, what's that sound? Coming so loud from your radio dial. ADB getting down when you're rocking the jams. Here I am, coming back once again. I'm
Yeah. Funkhauser, what is the title of today's show?
Of course you would ask me that. The basketball pay gap.
The basketball pay gap. This is an interesting one. This is for sure an interesting one. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there is a tremendous disparity between the amount that most male and most female athletes get paid. Specifically, some things have come to light recently with the Women's World Cup. I think our winning American team in the Women's World Cup got, what was it, $2 million for the entirety of the team. Nothing to sneeze at, but a lot of people have noticed that, well, gee, they got $2 million for winning. For being a men's team that loses in the World Cup, your team gets $8 million. So there is a tremendous disparity there, and rightly so. A lot of female athletes and a lot of people that are supportive of female athletes have gone, hey, it would be great if women could get equal pay to men in the world of sports. But there's a very tangible, sensible reason why they are not, and I hope it doesn't last forever. But there's a reason why women in sports like soccer, football, if you will, and basketball are not being paid anywhere near as much as their male counterparts, and we'll get to that today. Right now, though, let's get to the events of today in our segment, My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair, certainly not balanced. Funkhauser, how are you? And also, what is going on in the world?
I'm bitter this morning. Somebody broke my headphones.
Oh.
Don't you hate when that
your
happens?
headphones?
Well, I mean, the ones at the bus station here that I use every day for like 3 years. Yeah, suddenly can't get you in the lefty. Only got you in the righty.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I used to, when I first started in radio, I was like, okay, what are the ones that Howard Stern uses? The Sonys. Ooh, fancy. And like, when I first started in radio, I had just sort of like, I don't know, $20 pair of headphones from Radio Shack or Best Buy or wherever the hell it was I got them. And after I'd been in for a couple months, I was like, okay, it looks like this might be something that I wind up doing. I might be able to justify getting a pair of headphones, like actual headphones. So I got one of those ones that the Sonys that seem to come standard with every single radio studio, but are also the ones that Howard Stern uses. And I was like, okay, these are great. And they really do make enough in difference. They're like, I don't know. There's something about them that makes them so present and makes them so aware of your voice, but doesn't blow your voice up in this hypey way, so that when you listen back to yourself, you're totally different than you thought you were because you're getting a false representation from your headphones. They're very true. They're very pure. They're very awesome. They're about $150, I think. Is that right, Funkhauser?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, now they're like vintage, so they're probably more.
$150 or so. And I don't know at what point it started happening, but don't worry. Your broken headphone, you'll get used to it, because for the last 2-3 years, I think because I broke a pair of headphones, you know what it is about those headphones? There's no good way to store them. You know, they come in these little bags, and in theory, the earphones, those parts fold up, and no, some cable's always going to get twisted, or you're going to lose hearing in one of them, or it's going to break in half, or there's just no good way to carry them around with you. They're just imminently susceptible to getting dropped and twisted, and just they're a pain in the unmentionables to fix. So when my pair broke, I was like, I need headphones to do work. Oh, those broke too? I need headphones to do work. I should get to Best Buy. And basically, through a long series of misadventures, at the pinnacle of my radio career, I am now using the headphones, the earbuds that came free with my cell phone, and have been for quite some time. And I've gotten so used to them that, like, if these ever go out, I have to buy the exact same phone so I can get the exact same Samsung headphones, because this is just what I'm used to. It sucks, but it's true. So don't worry. The new people in the studio will absolutely cause you to adjust to a new way of doing business. You'll be fine. Who is the new person?
I can't tell you till Friday, because these people are in. You know, like anytime something starts from the beginning, they have like what's called a dress rehearsal. Same goes for radio. So they're in here figuring out which chair feels the best, which headphones they can break.
Yeah,
and
yours,
all that. So yeah, check back Monday. Check your local radio stations and leave a new
new person coming in.
She's cute too. Can I say that she's cute? Does that downplay the importance of a new host?
I don't think we're allowed. Like, I feel like if we give away too much, people might know who the hell it is that we're sharing studio space.
All right. Well, then we'll tell you Monday. Maybe we'll have her on next week. We could do that.
Yeah. Do you think she would?
Of course.
Oh. Wow. Cool.
All right. It's promotion 30, isn't it?
Perhaps we will give that a go. Alrighty then. What is going on in the world?
An attorney for To Kill a Mockingbird author Harper Lee now says she may have written a third novel.
Right. Yeah. In this one, Atticus Finch goes back to court to defend the Confederate flag. Best news for racists since Donald Trump's latest polling numbers. Go on.
Loosen up your drawers. I'm talking about Cindy Crawford. But no, her 13-year-old daughter just landed a movie role.
Oh, God, did you know? Uncool. Go on. Cindy Crawford's 13.
Boom.
Cindy Crawford's 13-year-old daughter. Go on.
She landed a movie role.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cindy Crawford's 13-year-old daughter landed a movie role. So, in your face, all you idiots who claim Hollywood's built entirely on nepotism. That'll learn you.
Is she going to be in the new National Lampoon Vacation movie? Wasn't she in the old one?
Cindy Crawford?
Was she the hot chick in the convertible driving by?
No, I think you got to go back further. I think that was what was the chick that married Billy Joel?
Oh, I don't know.
Christy Brinkley.
Ah, that's it. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
You're right.
I don't know. Was it? It was more than one hot chick, though, right?
I think it was always Christy Brinkley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because she's in it. Like I saw her on TV lately doing that bit.
Christy Brinkley, Billy Joel, they've got a daughter. How unfortunate is it for you? So all these fathers, all these famous fathers with very strong genetics, like the Demi Moore, Bruce Willis girls, they all look like Bruce Willis. And she, Christy Brinkley and Billy Joel's daughter, looks like Billy Joel. Really looks like Billy Joel, who's not a good-looking guy to begin with. Although, I have to say, I don't know whether she went out and used the benefit of some plastic surgery to go and buy herself a new head. But for a while, it was just like, Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley's daughter was really kind of awkward looking. But now really seems to have come into her own, blossomed, if you will, or, as one does, buy oneself a new head when one has access to plastic surgeons. Go on.
Whoopi Goldberg has dropped her support for Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Before she was like, we don't know, you don't know. Yeah, now not so
we
much.
know.
Now, yeah, Goldberg said she changed her mind after taking a good hard look at the evidence. Right. And her show's plummeting ratings, but potato. Go on.
John Hamm and his girlfriend of 16 years have reportedly split.
No, too bad for her. From what we've all seen, he is the total package. You still haven't seen that picture?
Mm-mm.
I've seen it way more times than I ever care to. It's that one of him wearing sort of like loose-fitting khakis and the wind catches him just right and you see... Yeah. You see John's ham is what you see. Go on.
Lena Dunham says she felt chubby when she got on stage with Taylor Swift and several of her supermodel girlfriends.
Yeah, Lena Dunham. Lena Dunham felt chubby next to Taylor Swift and a bunch of supermodels. So she ate them.
Tasty.
Go on.
Kourtney Kardashian kicked Scott Disick to the curb last week, and he's already in talks for his own TV show.
Yeah. It's too bad The Biggest Loser's already taken. It's just that guy really is.
I don't know anything about him. Like, I didn't even see him together. Football player or something?
No. Wikipedia him and see if he actually has anything to give the universe other than being a hanger-on.
Being a giant Disick.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's a TV personality. That's his
He's a TV
title.
personality?
Yeah.
Like, did he go to college or anything?
No.
Anything? No. Oy.
I'm trying. Nothing.
Empty vessel. Useless pustule.
Who are you talking about? Kourtney or him?
No, because at least Kourtney Kardashian is part of the nucleus of suck that is the Kardashian clan. At least that makes sense. Scott Disick is just a guy who managed to bang her enough times to get her pregnant, and they got stuck with him for 5 or 6 seasons. Like, that's his claim to fame. He's not firing blanks. That's what he has to thank his career for. Like, Scott Disick, what would that show even be about? Hi, I'm an insufferable D-bag. Actually, that's a reality show premise that seems to work rather well over and over again, so you never know. Go on.
Caitlyn Jenner received the Arthur Ashe Courage Award at the ESPYs.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people say that Caitlyn didn't deserve it. There's people that were far more courageous that should have been the recipient of it. There's athletes that have overcome incredible physical odds. There's people that have laid down their lives. There's all manner of folks that were more deserving of the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. And those people have a point, the people that say that. But we have to bear in mind that Caitlyn Jenner had the courage to endure Kris Jenner for as long as she did. So there's that. If she's so courageous, why would she cut off her junk? Go on.
The U.S. and Iran, or Iran.
Now that would be some commitment. Whack. Thop.
You think that's going to happen there?
I don't know.
You think it's going to happen there? I'm
not
sure.
Holding on to it for the time being. She's holding on to it for the time being. I don't know. I mean, look, there's so many different, like, I was watching a documentary on gender and being transgender a little while ago. It was very interesting stuff, but it's not even so black and white as man-woman, and sometimes a man wants to be a woman, and sometimes a woman wants to be a man. There's countries in Indonesia, I think, where they actually recognize 15 or so different varieties of gender. So a woman with, the cash and prizes is, there's a name for that in other parts of the world. So I don't know. It's not as cut and dry as, like, if you really wanted to commit to being a woman, you'd lop off Bruce's Jenner. But it's not so simple as that. And if we're not in it, i.e. the heart, mind, and body of Caitlyn Jenner, I don't think we really understand it. So we'll wait and see whether or not he divests himself of his last remaining vestige of being a he. It's funny because when I talk about Caitlyn Jenner having the old wedding tackle still intact, I refer to, I use the masculine pronoun, but for the rest of the time it's she. But I just, I don't know. Is that small-minded of me, Funkhauser?
Just call me Bruce.
Is that politically incorrect? I don't know. I do know this, though. Take some time to contextualize all this and figure out what the right thing and the wrong thing is. And I'd like everyone to note that here I am with not a single amount of malice in my heart toward Caitlyn, formerly Bruce Jenner. And when I'm making reference to Caitlyn's junk still being there, I have problems figuring out which pronoun to use. Why? Because they haven't written the handbook on this yet. So before you jump down someone's throat for being politically incorrect, remember a lot of us are still trying to put certain things in context. And if you say that everyone should know exactly how to put that in context already, then you're an awfully impatient person. Go on.
The U.S. and Iran, have struck a deal on Iran's nuclear program.
Yep. Yeah. Diplomatic solutions to potentially World War-esque problems. As a result, the UN has to lift sanctions. Iran will allow nuclear inspections, and Obama gets unlimited access to the best golf courses in Tehran.
You're longing for that shining sun. You walk these streets most every day. You're waiting to get washed away.
USA Headline News. I'm Kelly Sloan. Vice President Joe Biden has been meeting on Capitol Hill with House Democrats to brief them on the Iran nuclear deal. Some Democrats have been openly skeptical of the agreement, and Republicans in Congress are speaking out. South Carolina's Senator Lindsey Graham says the deal is alarming.
This is a terrible deal. Anybody could have done better, and you have taken a can of gasoline and thrown it on a fire as far as I'm concerned.
He spoke on NBC's Today Show. More than half of the Central Committee of Greece's governing left-wing party has signed a statement slamming the agreement Greece reached with its European creditors. Greece's parliament is expected to vote later today on the austerity bill required to get a new bailout package. Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras, through an interpreter, said he doesn't like the agreement but must implement it.
It is my responsibility that I signed a text I do not believe. However, I am obliged to implement this text.
Meanwhile, banks in Greece remain closed. This is USA Headline News.
Bob was miserable. His website was invisible, buried 3, 4, 5 pages deep. No one could find Bob's site, not his neighbor, 6 employees, or even the dog. Then Bob found Tizzable, T-I-Z-Z-I-B-L-E, the most powerful local search booster on the planet. Now everyone locally is finding Bob's website. Business is booming. Bob's happy. And so is the dog. Catapult your business on the map for customers searching for companies just like yours. Get Tizzable at Tizzable.com. That's T-I-Z-Z-I-B-L-E.com. T-I-Z-Z-I-B-L-E.com. Get your website visible. Get Tizzable.
Musicians, it's Guitar Center's July clearance. Save huge on over $20 million in clearance inventory. Leftover special buys, demos, open box, warehouse finds, and more. Incredible price drops store-wide. $8 million in markdowns on guitars, amps, drums, keyboards, and tech. Over 300,000 items marked down. Massive savings on brands like Fender, Gibson, Yamaha, DW, Korg, Shure, and more. But remember, each location and GuitarCenter.com has its own selection, and it's first come, first served. Guitar Center's July clearance kicks trending.
In baseball's 86th All-Star Game, it was the American League getting off to a great start against the National League.
That's into right field. Pretty well hit. Back at the wall. Gone. A home run for Mike Trout. Trout all smiles. AL leads 1-0.
The call on Fox Sports, Mike Trout of the Angels with a leadoff home run to start the game. American League goes on for the 6-3 win over the National League, and Mike Trout goes on to win the MVP of the All-Star Game for the second year in a row. He's the first player ever to win back-to-back MVPs in the All-Star Game. The American League wins home field advantage in the World Series for the third year in a row, thanks to that win. In the NBA, Commissioner Adam Silver said the league expects to make a change in the playoff format for next season. Division champs will no longer get a preference in seeding. Instead, the teams in each conference will be seeded 1 through 8 based solely on their win-loss record. I'm Eddie Garcia.
We are iHeartRadio shines the spotlight on Van Halen.
In 1981, Fair Warning was not a huge success, but its follow-up, Diver Down, was a huge hit, spawning a number 12 cover of Roy Orbison's Oh Pretty Woman. While all of their previous albums were successful, Van Halen didn't become superstars until 1984, when their album, 1984, became an across-the-board smash. Released on New Year's Day, 1984 rocketed to number 2 on the strength of the number 1 single, Jump. Like many songs on the album, Jump was driven by Eddie's new synthesizer, and while Roth was initially reluctant to use electronics, the expansion of the group's sound was widely praised.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Van Halen and all your favorite artists. iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to discuss that even though there were generational difficulties, his father was always quite supportive.
You know, you've got to understand, I'm sure it's the same over here, but in the UK, in England, you know, that generational change from my father's era to my era, you know, he was the English Empire days, 2 world wars. It was hard to communicate. There was a big divide between us. It's just, there was no dialogue really. You couldn't discuss things because there was no sort of platform to share conversations on. But no, he was supportive, and in a way, you know, given that he hadn't got a clue what I was doing, you know, what parent did in those days, you know, music, long hair and a guitar, he was given that. He was very supportive.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford and all your favorite artists.
Go ahead, favorite the show and enjoy AD on the go. iHeartRadio presents AD.
Alrighty then. There is a noticeable gap in income between male and female athletes, and a lot of people have said, hey, that really doesn't seem fair. And you know what? Those people are right. Or are they? I mean, there's a very clear and distinctive reason for the fact that female athletes get paid less to do something very similar to what men do, and we'll get into that shortly. What do you suppose that is? Have a guess, see if you're right, and we'll see if we agree on this later on in the show. Right now, though, let's roll through what remains of the news, Funkhauser. What else has been going on in the world?
An anonymous donor just offered $1 million for information leading to the return of a stolen pair of Judy Garland's ruby slippers from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. $1 million. Judy Garland slippers from the Wizard of Oz. All we know about this donor is that he's most likely gay. as is the thief, and anyone who cares about this story at all. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Go on.
Gay!
Harper Lee released her first book since To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. For younger listeners, Harper Lee is an author. To Kill a Mockingbird is classic literature. And a book is something you read. Go on.
The newest Batman vs. Superman trailer depicts a beloved figure's fall from an American treasure to a social pariah.
Yeah. Kind of like Ariana Grande's donut video.
I hate glazed donuts. They should go back to their own country.
Go on.
Mama June posted for new Baywatch themed photos in a tight red bathing suit.
Mama June, the human thumb. From Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, posed for new Baywatch themed photos in a tight red bathing suit. I can't believe I'm saying. Did she lose weight? Is this why she's doing this?
What are you asking me? I don't Google Mama June very often.
Mama June.
I just get the slug lines.
Let's Baywatch. Okay, Mama June.
If this were my sign news, I'd be all over it.
Like, I wonder if this is because she has a new, more taut-toned body. Oh, there it is. This is perfect timing. Because I've been wanting to get rid of this pesky, inappropriate erection for a while now, and that just did the trick. Pew! Wah, 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 wah. Oh, God. That's, well, go on with your bad self. Oh my God. I got to close that window. That's unpleasant to look at.
You're going to have an HR meeting later now.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford turned 73 on Monday.
Yeah. That means the only force he wants is the one that helps with his weak pee stream.
Hold it closer, Chewie.
Like. Wonder what that's like. Getting to a certain age and not being able to pee all at once. What age does that start happening? Do you know?
34. No, I don't know. A little too personal? I don't know. No, I don't know. Probably, that's toward the end of the things that happen to you, I believe. A lot of things happen before that, and then that.
It's funny because I was laughing. I was relating a story that Louis C.K. told. And he said, like, I'm, 45 now or whatever, and that means all sorts of things are starting to happen weird with my body. Like, I'll just be sitting there and realize I need to wipe my ass, even though I haven't gone to the bathroom, like all day long. And I told a friend of mine that. He was like, so true. I was like, wow, you're 43. This is the sort of stuff that we have to get used to in the not too distant future, having to wipe even though you haven't gone. I think Louis C.K. described his butthole as like a bag of leaves that someone forgot to fasten on the lawn on a fall day. Yep. Okay, enough talk of Louis C.K.'s butthole. It's just stunned silence from the other side of the room. So that's my signal that we need to move along to the next story.
Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Des Bryant says he won't show up for training camp without a new deal.
Yeah, he's holding out. Wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, Des Bryant, not showing up till he gets $15 million a year. He wants $15 million a year. It seems greedy, I know, but bear in mind he's playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I would up the ante. I would ask for a quarterback that doesn't choke in the playoffs, but that's just me. Go on.
Sources say a nuclear agreement with Iran could happen today.
Basically, I think what they've agreed to do is keep working on a nuclear program, and we won't agree to keep vowing to do something about it. Go on.
The National Enquirer claims Bill Clinton is not Chelsea's father.
Now, it sounds ridiculous, but I don't know if you know this. The National Enquirer, tabloid journalism, the original piece of tabloid
best paper
journalism,
out there.
I think. Well, yeah, but see, if you print stuff about people that is not true, like People don't realize the incredible strike rate that the National Enquirer has of getting to the truth first. Like, it's stuff that sounds ridiculous, but if it's not true, there's tremendous amounts of legal recourse that can be taken against you if it's not true. So a lot of the stuff that's printed in the Enquirer that sounds ridiculous to begin with, here's the thing. There's truth to a lot of it. So for them to go out on the limb, and I don't know if they're suggesting that maybe it's a possibility, or if they're saying Bill Clinton is definitely not Chelsea's father. There's obviously a difference in the way they're positioning it, but National Enquirer has a long history of being right about some pretty fantastical things. And they say that Bill Clinton's not Chelsea's father. I suppose they could prove it by obtaining Bill's DNA from literally any woman on the planet except Hillary. That would be one way to figure things out. What else? Any more presidential news?
Our friend Donald Trump skipped the Miss USA pageant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to understand. He's a busy man. He couldn't fit the pageant into his hectic schedule of doing everything possible to destroy any respect ever awarded to the institution of the President of the United States of America. Let's just tear that one down. Go on.
Now he's too busy cleaning his own house, gardening his own lawn.
I don't know if you can make that kind of joke unless Concept 714 is here. He did say that thing the other day about, like, Donald Trump's out of his mind. He wants to build a wall, but if he kicks out all the Mexicans, who's going to build it? That was our Mexican friend that said us, not us. Said it, not us. Have coffee in the world today.
You walk these streets most every day. You're waiting to get washed away.
iHeartRadio puts the spotlight on Green Day. After some time off, Green Day made a major comeback with 2004's rock opera American Idiot. The album sold over 6 million copies and was adapted into a Broadway musical. Their next studio album, 2009's 21st Century Breakdown, was also a rock opera and hit #1 in the US, Europe, and the UK, making it Green Day's best charting album. At the end of 2012, Green Day released a trilogy of albums, Uno, Dos, and Tre, marking the official addition of Jason White to the band after touring with them since 1999. However, the third album's release was delayed due to Armstrong entering rehab for alcohol and prescription medication. When Armstrong completed rehab, the band toured throughout 2013 to support the 3 albums. They also released a compilation of demos from Uno, Dos, and Tre in 2014 under the title Demolicious. All things Green Day, info, music, and more are on iHeartRadio, keyword Green Day.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Jimmy Page to discuss what the most important things to nurture and cherish really are.
I was self-taught, but I did have to take on the role of reading music, or I would have got kicked. Well, I could have got kicked out of sessions on the very first one that I did if I'd have been had no discipline, and if, because that's what they needed. They needed people to deliver. But how important all the academic side was, and how I understood how important that it was, but also the fact that if you have your own character in music and your own personality, and you're lucky enough to find that you can be able to write a few things, then that is so important to nourish and cherish as well.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Jimmy Page and all your favorite artists.
Delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah. You've been talking about me for
more news, Funkhauser. Ooh,
okay.
This one sounds really official. I like this one.
An overweight 11-year-old boy who called out his bullies on YouTube has been invited to the White House.
Yeah, where ironically Michelle Obama will yell at him for being overweight. Go on.
Among the things the new NASA images of Pluto revealed is that it's red like Mars.
Yeah.
Did you see the pictures?
I did, and all the ones that claim it looks like the face of Pluto the dog is in it. Have you seen those?
Yeah, it's funny.
It was kind of funny. Yeah, I think. I mean, Pluto is apparently red like Mars. The reason Pluto is red: embarrassment from telling awful Uranus jokes.
I think that's why we exiled him out in the first place.
Go on. Yeah, no longer a planet. When did Pluto stop being a planet?
I don't know, like in the 2000s, I think. I still think you're a planet, bro. You're still cool with me.
Still cool with me. You're a planet. Whatever. You're whatever you want to be. Don't let them put a label on you.
Yeah, man, you can be an asteroid if you want to be.
Pluto identifies as a planet. Go on.
A Pennsylvania man was found drunk and naked in a hog barn.
Yeah. Yeah, did you see this story? This guy's like, I think 64 years old. He said he just really likes the hogs. And he wanted to have a beer with him. I think he was saying that, yeah, sure, I was naked and drunk in a hog barn, but there was nothing untoward going on. The hogs are my friends. And maybe there's truth to that. Maybe he just enjoys getting naked. Maybe he enjoys nuding up. I mean, wasn't it National Nude Day the other day? Maybe he was just celebrating National Nude Day and knocking back a six-pack with the folks that he liked the most. Hogs in this hog barn. Now, here's the thing. Whatever excuse he decides to roll with in this situation, none of it matters because this has been a recurring thing, and he'd been banned from being anywhere near this hog barn to begin with. Like he couldn't stay away. He got drunk and he went back. I think he would have gotten away with it too. Only someone squealed.
Oh, that's a good one. Even better than the thing I play when you do good ones.
Yeah. Yep. Go on.
Men most like cars that are orange.
Would you like to have an orange car, Funkhauser?
No.
Does it go back to the General Lee?
I don't want to be that spottable.
I don't know.
Look at that guy in the orange car.
Unfortunately for Donald Trump, the same doesn't apply to presidential candidates. He is very Oompa Loompa colored recently. I think he made a skin tone decision. Maybe he's trying to do a Rachel Dolezal and identify as a Tic Tac. I don't know. Go on.
A Disneyland employee reportedly tried to trade theme park tickets for sex with a minor.
Ugh. He's been charged on one count of being the least creepy person ever to get a job at Disneyland. You're a California kid. Did you go to Disney a lot growing up?
Yeah, every year. Still to this day, every dang year.
Really?
Yeah, Mom's a super fan, so we go for her birthday around Halloween.
Aw, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
Have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been to Disney's on both coasts. I think I like the Floridian Disney a little bit better because I like that whole Epcot Center. I think there's more rides and stuff. The Epcot Center is kind of cool because it's all... Epcot Center is cool because it's all sort of food. Like, it's food-based. You can eat your way across the world. Like, you go to each little sort of nationality that's represented there, and they have some of their cuisine, and that's kind of fun. It's sort of like when International Day at high school, when, okay, for the sake of an argument, you kids are going to be from Finland, but we're from Chile, Santiago, Chile. You're Finnish! And so then they have to go, make Finlandia Finnish fish jello or something like that, and you have to eat it. But, yeah. Go on.
Bump. A new study shows, despite previous reports, standing at work is bad for you.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you think that that's going to make the dirtbag in my office shut up for even 1 second about his brand new standing desk and how it's ergonomically sound and how he sleeps better and everything is better for him, you are sadly mistaken. Pluto's a planet.
Pluto is larger than previously thought, and on its surface there's a shape that looks like a heart. Yeah, so now scientists are deciding whether to classify Pluto as a planet or an emoji.
Oh, man. 50 Cent's filing for bankruptcy 5 years after being worth $500 million. How does something like this happen? Well, it's an interesting one. Like if we talked about this on the show the other day. If you had to pick an amount of money that you would be fine with for the rest of your life, an amount of money that would allow you to feel like you were set for life, as the scratch-off lotto tickets say, to where you never had to work again if you didn't want to. By comparison, we were coming up with some pretty modest numbers. I think, Funkhauser, you said like $5 million, right?
For what? $5 million for what? I said 41, I think.
For $41 million?
For what now? I was printing some paperwork. I didn't hear the number that you were talking about. You know, after the news, I have to do the shredding of the news.
Right. Glad the show's so riveting. No, we're talking about the amount of money. Oh, we had such grand ideas when this show started. It's just got to be a matter of months before we were on the syndication trail and changing the very face, shape, and form of talk radio. It's a big priority. Now I can't even get the guy in the room to listen to me anymore. Fantastic. We were talking, Funkhauser, about the amount of money one needed to be set for life, and I think you came up with $5 million yesterday.
No, Concept did 5. I did 41.
Oh, 41 million.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. I think Concept did $10 million. Anyways, all reasonably modest amounts of money compared to the $500 million that 50 Cent was worth 5 years ago. Here's the thing, though. You're wondering how this happened. It's most likely a legal maneuver in response to a lawsuit. See, a court recently ordered him to pay a woman $5 million for leaking a sex tape of her online. And they still haven't ruled on the punitive damages yet. The bankruptcy will presumably limit what the woman is able to get from him. 50 says, quote, "I'm taking precautions that any other good business person would take in this situation. When you're successful, you become a target. Walt Disney filed for bankruptcy. Donald Trump filed for bankruptcy. It means you're reorganizing your finances, but it does stop things from moving forward that you don't want to move forward. I got a decent legal team. You don't have to worry." Now, 50 has far more money left to his name than he has in his name. Just 2 months ago, Forbes estimated his fortune at $155 million. But celebrity net worth is always total guesswork. So it's hard to say what he actually had 5 years ago. And now, in fact, 50 himself doesn't seem to know. According to the legal documents, 50 claims his assets are valued between $10 million and $50 million, and his liabilities are between the same range, which is a big range. Like $40 million to be unsure of. Anyways. But yeah, he said he's A-okay with it. He said he's doing fine. 50 Cent will be just dandy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You see that? This is right here. This is my mother house right here. This is my auntie house right here. And this right here, my house right here. Let me cover that up. That's the 20s right there. Let me cover the 20s up. I don't even want the 100s on the outside. Now, that's a stash right there. Take a picture of my face. Look, this is my face.
Yeah, old Fitty will be just fine. You know who will not be fine, apparently? Female athletes. Female athletes. And, well, I mean, you might have noticed a tremendous income disparity between the female World Cup champions, who made $2 million as a team, and the men who were in the World Cup that lost, well, they got $8 million as a team. And, well, that World Cup situation has shone a bit of light on the disparity between the two incomes, especially when you're dealing with something like soccer, football, where is the game for men that much different than it is for women? I mean, look, men have the advantage in terms of strength and speed, but football, soccer, it's a game of skill. Ball control, all that. David Beckham isn't the fastest, strongest soccer player in the world. Diego Maradona wasn't the fastest, strongest player in the world. Pele wasn't the fastest, strongest player in the world. They just had incredible amounts of ability and dexterity with what they could do in terms of controlling the ball and moving it down the field and strategizing how they were going to get past defenders so that they can be the incredible strikers that they were. So a lot of people could argue that in addition to sheer strength and speed, there's a meritocracy of skill involved in sports like soccer and perhaps basketball too. But here's the thing. There's folks that feel as though LeBron James should be paid the same as the WNBA's top women player. It's interesting. Democrats, and I hate to sort of generalize in this way and slap labels on things, but Democrats do, in fact, want equal pay for men and women in pro sports, saying no athlete should be told that they're worth less on the playing field simply because of their gender. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is using the Women's World Cup team to call for equal pay in pro sports. I hate to be that person that slaps labels on folks and be like, the Democrats want this, but it's pretty clear. It's the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, and they're using the Women's World Cup as their leverage. In a fundraising email, where they're trying to get money for themselves, they wrote that the women of the U.S. national soccer team are absolutely extraordinary. I don't think anyone's arguing that. They are. But there's one thing about them that is absolutely ordinary. Infuriatingly, unconscionably ordinary. They get paid less than men for doing the same work. They're demanding that Republicans close the pay gap, a reference to the Paycheck Fairness Act. Vermont Democrat Senator Patrick Leahy said no athlete should be told that they're worth less on the playing field simply because of their gender, adding that it sends a terrible message to women and girls around the world about the value of their contribution to sports. Yeah, here's the thing. And believe me, in other parts of the professional world, if you're a woman and you're doing the same job as the man that is your contemporary, then you should absolutely be paid the same. 100%. You will get no argument from me on that because that's fair and it makes sense. And that's not a place that we're in. But the DCCC is using this in a fundraising letter for themselves. They're trying to whip up a little ridiculous outrage so that people will fund them. They actually don't really care about getting female athletes more money. They care about getting themselves more money. And you know what? When J.J. Watt got $70 million to play for the Houston Texans, a lot of people were like, no one's worth that much. Oh, but he is. Because he's worth what the market is willing to pay for him. Show me a woman who can put asses in the seats and generate ratings like a LeBron James, a Michael Jordan, a Peyton Manning, etc., and I'll show you a woman that should be making the same money as them. I do the same thing Howard Stern does every single morning. I should get paid the same as him. Oh, wait. Millions of people are willing to show up for him and me not so much? Oh, well, therein lies the rub. Go figure.